Namaste. Welcome to Gentle Yoga with Joy. Remember, before beginning this video, always consult your doctor before beginning this or any other new exercise. This or any exercise program could result in injury. Always take the advice of a physician or another qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. By continuing with this video, you are agreeing to waive any claim for personal injury and any other damages against the instructor, photographer, and others involved in this production. Before we begin, we always want to take a moment, check in with the body, turn the focus inward. Again, noticing how we feel, physically, mentally, noticing without judgment, and remembering that we always have the freedom to modify. The freedom to sit out any exercise that doesn't feel right to us. So again, take that moment now, and notice as we go through the practice. We'll begin lying back onto our backs. Bending the knees upward, leaning the knees against each other for support, arms beside the body, turn the palms upward. We can use props like the blanket under the head and shoulders to make ourselves more comfortable here. And we shut our eyes or just soften the gaze. Taking a few deep breaths, preparing the mind and body. Beginning our focus on the breath, first and foremost. The breath is the foundation of everything we do in yoga. We want to breathe with steadiness and ease throughout. If all we do is breathe with steadiness and ease, we're still doing yoga. That's the basis of everything. So notice now how we're breathing. Notice as we go throughout the practice, and again, anytime our breathing might become labored or we find that we're exerting ourselves so much we're holding our breath, we want to back out, take a comfortable position, focus on that breath again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently turn the head to the left. Remembering our neck and our knees are two parts of our body that we don't choose to challenge. They should always be comfortable, so make any modifications we need to make sure we are comfortable here, even if it means skipping turning the head. If we have turned the head, we might experiment with tucking the chin, again, only if it's comfortable. And we bring our focus to the right shoulder, the right side of the neck, releasing with the breath. Inhale, face back up toward the ceiling. Exhale, we can try gently turning the head to the right. Option to tuck the chin, releasing through the left shoulder, left side of the neck. Inhale, face back up toward the ceiling. Exhaling, we can open the eyes, focus the gaze, and we can bend our right knee upward, placing the hands on the shin or on the thigh, or we might use our strap across the back of the thigh. Gently, we try to pull that right knee toward the chest. At the same time, we're trying to flatten the spine toward the floor. Notice how the lower back feels here. We have an option. We might keep that left knee bent upward. We might go ahead, extend the left leg on the floor. Gently pulling right knee toward the chest and trying to flatten the spine toward the floor as we release with the exhale. Pavana Muktasana, knee to chest stretch. Release that right knee. Extend the right leg up toward the ceiling. Press gently through the heel without forcing the knee straight to find a gentle stretch for the hamstring muscles in the back of the leg. We press through the heel first, and then we try pointing our toe and alternate a few times between that flexion and extension. And then we can try rotation. Rotating the ankle first one way, rotating back the other way. And then once again, press gently through the heel. Find that gentle stretch, slowly and with control, and keeping that right leg as straight as we comfortably can. We lower the right leg down to the floor. Arms overhead along the floor will make this a little more challenging. Arms beside the body, palms down, gives us a little support. So we do what feels right to us today. Now bending that left knee upward, hands on the shin or on the thigh or using the strap. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, gently pressing left knee toward the chest. Again, we try to flatten the spine toward the floor, and we might leave the right leg extended here. We might prefer to keep the knee bent upward, foot on the floor, finding what feels best to our lower back today. Release the left leg. Extending the left leg up toward the ceiling, gently pressing through the heel. Gentle stretch for the hamstrings. And then again, we point the toe, flexion and extension. And then try some rotation. Rotating back the other way. We press gently through the heel, find that good stretch, slowly and with control, lowering the left leg down, arms beside the body for more support, or arms overhead along the floor for a little more challenge to that stretch. Bending both knees upward now, hands on shins or thighs, or use the strap again across the back of the thighs. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale to lift. We might wrap the arms, clasp the hands with the knees, use the strap. As we release back down, we want to make sure if the head and shoulders are off the floor that they're supported. Tuck a blanket or another prop there. Gently pull the knees toward the chest, and again that focus on flattening the spine toward the floor, releasing with the exhale. It's normal for the spine not to touch the floor. Parts of it may at times, parts of them may not. Just notice what's going on, notice what's tight or tense, and try to release some of that tension with each exhale. Notice how the breath moves us in the pose. The inhale with the rib cage expands tends to lift us a little. Again, that exhale is an opportunity to release. Apanasana. Both need a chest stretch. Downward moving energy pose. Releasing. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Knees are bent upward, the feet hips width distance apart. Arms beside the body, palms down, and we'll extend the right leg up toward the ceiling. Again, we gently flex the foot to find a gentle stretch. Now, using our hip muscles, we try to draw a circle on the ceiling with that right foot. Start small, about the size of a dinner plate. See how it feels. Knowing our own hips best, we can make what modifications we need. We might skip this exercise altogether if it doesn't feel right. If it does feel right, we might try increasing the size of the circles. And then we want to circle back the other way. Starting large now, circling back down to small if we increase the size. And coming back to a standstill there, gently press up through the heel. Now we bend the right knee for half happy baby. We might place one or both hands on the back of that right thigh. Or if it's comfortable to grab the right foot with the right hand, we can do that. We're pulling that right knee toward the right armpit. At the same time, to balance the pose, because it is an asymmetrical pose, press the left hip and left shoulder down to the floor. Some people like to let that left knee roll outward. We can do that if we like. Press down with the left hip and the left shoulder. Try to flatten the spine as we draw that right knee a little lower to find a good, not a painful stretch. Ardha Ananda Balasana, half happy baby. Releasing now. Extend the right leg back up slowly, and with control we can lower that right leg down to the floor. And then bending the right knee, both feet on the floor, both knees bent upward, arms beside the body, palms down. Extend the left leg upward. And again we find that stretch, pressing through the heel. Gentle stretch, steady breath. We can hold it steady, or again, we can try to explore by circling that foot on the ceiling. Upward facing one foot pose, or Urdhva Ekapadasana. Start small with the circles, see how it feels, maybe increase them as we go. And then we circle back the other way, large to small. Coming back to a stop, bend the left knee. Half happy baby, other side. One or both hands on the back of the left thigh, or grasping the foot if it's comfortable. To balance, we press the right hip, the right thigh down. Maybe allow that thigh to roll outward. Release with the breath. Ardha Ananda Balasana. Releasing now. Bring that left foot down to the floor. Both knees bend upward. We'll cross the right knee over the left. For a piriformis stretch, reclined cow face pose, Supta Gomukhasana. Notice again how this feels. It might be a gentler stretch if we want to cross the shins instead of the thighs. And to find some intensity in the pose, we may find plenty of intensity keeping that left foot on the floor. Or we can use our strap behind the thigh. It's the lower thigh, the left thigh, that the strap goes behind as we pull the knees toward the chest. Again, for more intensity, maybe take the feet wider apart. If it's comfortable to grasp opposite foot with opposite hand, we can do that. Little adjustments here will make a difference on what we're feeling. Again, for more sensation, we might try to press the right hip down and forward. Feeling those deep hip flexors here. Good, not painful stretch in yoga. We want to take it maybe just a little outside our comfort zone without pushing to the point of pain. So, good, not painful stretch. Supta Gomukhasana. Releasing. Bring the feet back down, uncross the knees, and bring the left knee over the right. Notice how we feel. Again, it might be enough to cross at the shins instead of the thighs. We might leave that right foot on the floor right here and hold. Or use the strap behind the right thigh, pulling the knees toward the chest, maybe taking the feet wider apart, looking for some sensation, but not pushing to the point of pain. Supta Gomukhasana. Release. Uncross the knees now. Rolling onto our side now. And we can press ourselves up to seated. And come into a tabletop position on our hands and knees. I always recommend some extra padding for the knees here. A folded blanket under the knees. Remembering if the knees are very sensitive, we might want to roll that blanket up so that the kneecaps hang off the front and we take the pressure off them altogether. Same with the wrists. If it isn't comfortable to have the hands flat, we might make fists. Or we might use a bolster or other prop. Resting on the forearms so that the pressure is off the hands and wrists altogether. Once we're comfortable in our tabletop, hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. We gaze a little ahead of the hands. We try to soften the face, soften the jaw. Draw the navel gently toward the spine, taking a deep breath in. Then as we exhale, we begin to arch the spine upward, allowing the head and tailbone to tilt down for cat pose, Majariasana. Inhale now to cow pose. The center of the spine descends. Allow the head and tailbone to tilt up, keeping the neck comfortable. Exhale again to cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Cow. And cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling to cat. We draw out the movement with the breath. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And one more of each. Inhale, cow. Exhale to cat. And bringing the spine back to a neutral position. We'll do a variation of cat and cow called tiger pose. It involves the same movement, but has a little bit of a different twist here. We'll take one knee off the floor in tiger pose. If this doesn't feel stable, feel free to do the cats and cows just as we did them before. Breathing is all the same. We take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop the head. Try bringing the right knee toward the nose here. Then as we inhale, we lift the head, press the sole of the foot up. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, lift the head, press up the foot. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, lifting the foot, lifting the head, and exhale, bring that right knee back down. That's tiger pose, Virabhadrasana. We'll do the other side. Gazing a little ahead of the hands, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, drop the head. Bring the left knee toward the nose. Inhale to lift the head, pressing the foot upward. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale to lift. Lift the head, lift the foot. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale again, lift the head, press the foot up, and exhale to bring that left knee back down. We find stability once again in our tabletop pose, Baharmanasana. Now we'll do a little exercise for the hips here, where we lift that right knee out to the side. And then we experiment with circling the hip muscles. Again, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Always free to do cats and cows instead here. Try circling back the other way. Try changing the size of the circles. We know our own hips best. Find what feels good and right. And then bring that right knee down. Back into our tabletop pose. Find stability. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, take that left knee out to the side. Again, experiment with a little movement here. Breathe. Try circling the other way. And then bring that left knee back down onto the floor. From here, we can press back to child's pose, if that's a comfortable pose for us. Feet together, knees wide as we release forward. Make sure the forehead is supported in child's pose. It can touch the floor, or we can bring the floor up to support the head, using a bolster or other prop. Child's pose might not be comfortable, even modified, and if it isn't, we don't want to suffer. Instead, we take another pose. We might sit in a comfortable seated position. We might roll to our side, curl into a fetal position. We're always free to go into child's pose or any other comfortable pose. Free to sit out or modify any pose that doesn't feel right to us. Pressing ourselves now back up to a comfortable seated position, extending our legs in front of us. And we'll take staff pose, Dandasana. To make more room, to make it more comfortable for the knees, we can always elevate the hips, sitting on a folded blanket or other prop. In our staff pose, we want to be able to straighten the arms beside the body by pressing down. We don't want to hyperextend the elbows. Depending on the relative length of arms and body, we might want to use blocks or other props under there. Really root down through the heels of the hands. Press down, shoulders up and back, tucking the shoulder blades down, back, and together. The arms are energized here, and we want our legs energized as well. Press the knees to the floor, press the heels down, spread the toes. Draw the navel toward the spine. If it's comfortable for the neck, we can lower the chin toward the chest. Dandasana, staff pose. And releasing. Sitting up tall and bending the right knee outward. We bring the right foot against the left thigh. We can support that right knee with a block or bolster or other prop here if it's hanging out in space. Remember that supported muscles relax more easily. Running the strap around the ball of the left foot, we sit up tall. The left leg is as straight as we can comfortably keep it here. We bring our shoulders up and back and tuck the shoulder blades down, back, and together. Notice how we feel. This might be a good stretch right here. We can stop right here. Each inhale roots us down and lengthens us up. As we exhale, we look for something to release, trying to release from the hips in this variation of our one-legged forward stretch, Janu Shirshasana, trying to keep a long spine and level shoulders. Always allowed to bend the knee. Steady breath. Janu Shirshasana. Releasing now. We'll keep our right knee bent outward and take heron pose. Bending that left knee upward now. The gentlest form of heron pose is to hug that left knee toward the chest. Again, if this is a good stretch, we can stop right here. To add a little more stretch for the hamstrings if we want more sensation. Again, we run that strap around the ball of the left foot and we extend the leg out in front. Don't force the knee straight again. It should be a good but not a painful stretch. Again, we want to bring the shoulders back, shoulder blades down, back, and together. If the leg will fully extend, we want to sit up tall and maybe try to pull that leg closer. Traditionally, the gaze is high here, but keep the neck in its comfort zone as always. Crown Shasana, heron pose. Releasing. We change sides, extending the right leg, bending the left knee outward. Left foot against right thigh. And again, using a bolster or other prop to support that left knee if it's hanging out in space. Take the strap around the ball of the right foot with one end of the strap in each hand. Shoulders up and back. Right leg as straight as we can comfortably keep it. As we breathe, inhale to extend the spine. Exhale again, looking for maybe a little release with a long spine and level shoulders. Janu Shirshasana. Releasing. Taking our heron variation now. Again, the left knee stays bent outward. We might pull that right knee toward the chest. Gentle stretch here. For more of a stretch for the hamstrings, extending that right leg. Strap around the ball of the right foot, shoulders up and back. Not forcing that right leg straight. Again, if the leg fully extends, sit up tall and maybe pull it a little closer until we find that good, not painful stretch. Gazing upward if it's comfortable, but keeping the neck always comfortable. Crown Shasana, heron pose. Releasing down. Bend both knees upward. Walk the feet out, mat width distance apart. We can bring our hands here beside our hips and try gently taking the knees from side to side. Knees always stay in their comfort zone. Again, a little exercise for the spine here. Seated spinal half twist. And then we'll go ahead and lie back onto our backs once again. And again, we might have that folded blanket under the head and shoulders. Knees bent upward, soles of the feet on the floor. Try crossing that right knee over the left once again. Another stretch for the piriformis muscles and our lying down spinal twist. Again, this might feel like plenty right here, keeping the left foot on the floor. We can experiment here if we like with taking the knees to the left, placing the left hand on the right thigh. Hello, Polly. This is my Polly cat. She's 18 and a half years old and a little bit deaf, hence the voice. As we breathe here, again, that right arm can be extended out to the right. If we press that right shoulder down, we get a little more intensity. Remember, not every yoga pose is for everybody. If this variation of the lying down spinal twist is uncomfortable, try uncrossing the knees and do some other variation instead. Jatara Parivartanasana, lying down spinal twist. Let's bring those knees back upward. Change the cross of the knees. Left knee over right. Again, if we're feeling a good stretch here, keep the knees upward, or try taking them over to the right now. Option to place the right hand on the left thigh to press open the pose a little for a little more intensity. Take the neck, the gaze, wherever it's most comfortable. Release with the breath. Jatara Parivartanasana. Bringing the knees back upward now. Uncross the knees. Walk the feet out, mat width distance apart. And bring the arms beside the body, palms upward. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, gently taking the knees to the left, no lower than they're comfortable going. Inhale, slowly bringing the knees back upward. And exhale gently to the right. If we want a little more sensation, we might be pressing that left shoulder down here. Inhale, back up. Exhaling to the left. Inhale up. Exhaling to the right. Inhale up. Exhaling left. Inhale up. And exhale right. Inhale the knees back upward now. We'll take a final knee to chest stretch. Bending the knees upward. Again, hands on shins, on thighs, or using our strap. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale to lift. Wrapping the arms or clasping the knees with the hands. We press the knees toward the chest. We make sure the head and shoulders are supported with a blanket or other prop if needed. We release as we exhale, and we might hold the pose steady, or here we might add a little movement, gently rocking from side to side, to and fro. We might leave the spine on the floor and gently circle the knees. Circling in one direction and back the other way. Apanasana, downward moving energy pose. Release the feet down to the floor, knees bent upward, feet hips width distance apart. Now we can extend our arms, stretching out the spine. Take a deep breath in. And a long, full exhale. Another deep breath in. Another long, full exhale. One more deep breath in. And then exhaling. Arms up toward the ceiling, we shut our eyes or soften the gaze. We rub the palms of the hands together, generating some heat between the palms, and we can press the palms over the eye sockets. We can open the mouth wide. Allow the mouth to close, lips together, teeth apart, tongue relaxed inside the mouth. Our elbows might slip to the floor, our hands might fall, palms upward, open and relaxed. Making our way to Shavasana, relaxation pose. The knees might stay bent upward, leaning against each other for support, or it might be more comfortable to extend the legs. And I recommend using a bolster or rolled up blanket or some other prop under the knees here. So the knees are slightly bent, the lower back can relax a little easier. We're always free to lie on our side or on our stomach instead in Shavasana. And now, taking deep, natural breaths, letting go of stress and tension with each exhale, allowing our bodies to relax completely, melting into the mat, we relax and breathe. Beginning now to bring awareness back to our bodies, we can start by deepening our breathing and begin awakening the body with small movements, the fingers and toes, the hands and feet. We can gently turn the head from side to side. We can extend arms and legs, stretching out, then bending our knees upward. We can roll to our side, curling into a fetal position. We can remain here breathing until we're ready to press ourselves back up to seated. Namaste. The light within me salutes the light within you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.